So let's get started on our lesson for possessive pronouns. This is when we want to express mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. Now, in Spanish, we actually have 4 ways to express each one of these, meaning that for mine, it could be el mío, la mía, los míos, las mías. It all depends upon the noun and whether it's masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. All of this combined means that we have a lot of possessive pronouns in Spanish. Once again, for mine, it could be el mío, la mía, los míos, las mías. For yours, el tuyo, la tuya, los tuyos, las tuyas. For his, hers, or theirs, el suyo, la suya, los suyos, las suyas. And then for ours, el nuestro, la nuestra, los nuestros, las nuestras. Again, never forget that it all depends upon the noun you are referring to. Now let's do an example. The homework is la tarea. So if we wanted to express something like, I did her homework and she did mine, this would be yo hice su tarea y ella hizo la mía. Breaking it down, we have I did, yo hice. Of course, I'm emphasizing the I here with yo. So yo hice su tarea. I did her homework. And she, y ella, hizo la mía. She did mine. Notice that for mine, here I am selecting la mía because we have la tarea. This is the key thing to remember about correctly choosing possessive pronouns in Spanish. You will always refer back and be guided by the noun you are referring to. Another example could be with, say, the accent. This in Spanish is el acento. And of course, this is a masculine noun. So if we had a phrase something like, his accent is stronger than mine, this would be su acento es más fuerte que el mío. So his accent, su acento es más fuerte, is stronger than mine, que el mío. I'm choosing el mío because I am referring to el acento. So far we have 2 nouns, so 2 examples. The first one was la tarea. So for the word mine, we went with la mía. Then in the second example, we had el acento. And for mine, we would go with el mío. This means we have 2 possibilities left for mine. These are the plurals, masculine and feminine, los míos and las mías. Let's try to use them. We could have something like, her daughters are older than mine. To express older, Spanish speakers will often use the word mayor or mayores. The correct translation would then be, sus hijas son mayores que las mías. Her daughters are older than mine, and notice now that the word for mine transforms into las mías because we are referring to las hijas. Let's do one more. We have, his sons are older than mine. So the same phrase, we're just switching out the noun. So this now is masculine plural. How do you think you might translate that? It would be, sus hijos son mayores que los míos. Obviously here we have switched into los míos for mine because now we are referring to los hijos. Next up, I'd like to show you one place where this rule can break. It's actually quite common for native Spanish speakers to leave out the definite article, meaning el, la, los, or las, if it's coming after ser. So for example, to express it's mine, normally what you will hear is es mío. Now this one is certainly possible. It's not incorrect, but it's not as commonly heard as the first one. Normally, they will not include the definite article after some form of ser. They'll simply go straight into the possessive pronoun itself. So es mío rather than es el mío. This again will hold up for any angle. So for example, it's not yours. you will hear no es tuyo rather than no es el tuyo. So just be aware of that. After ser, normally what you'll hear them do is drop this definite article, but other than that, they will always include it. One other thing that I would like you to be aware of is, say, with this type of phrase, el libro es suyo. Now, with suyo, we know that it contains three angles in one, because this could mean the book is his, the book is hers, or the book is theirs, meaning that sometimes it's not clear at all which angle you mean. Now, the way to make it clear is as follows. You will use de él, de ella, or de ellos, de ellas. For example, the book is his, and we want to make it explicitly clear that this is the angle, his. So what you would say is, el libro es de él. If it was already clear whom we were referring to, it would simply be, el libro es suyo. But if it wasn't clear, this is how you make it clear. El libro es de él. How would you say the book is hers? El libro es de ella. The book is theirs, and we'll assume that we're talking about a group of all males or a mixed group. El libro es de ellos. Finally, the book is theirs, meaning all females. El libro es de ellas. Let's run our first drill. We're going to explore using all of these possibilities mixed together. If ever I want you to be explicit about who you are referring to, I'll put brackets with EX. So this is when you will use de él, de ella, de ellos, or de ellas. Let's begin. How would you say, your house is big, mine is small? Tu casa es grande, la mía es pequeña. His car is white, mine is black. Su coche es blanco, el mío es negro. Their shirts are more expensive than ours. Sus camisas son más caras que las nuestras. It's not his, it's mine. No es suyo, es mío. It's not his, be explicit here. No es de él. Her work is better than yours. Su trabajo es mejor que el tuyo. Your sisters are older than mine. Tus hermanas son mayores que las mías. She thinks their opinions are more important than yours. Piensa que sus opiniones son más importantes que las tuyas. Their friendship is not stronger than ours. Su amistad no es más fuerte que la nuestra. The decision is hers. La decisión es de ella. The parts they sell are less expensive than his. Las partes que venden son menos caras que las suyas. These books are mine and those are his. Estos libros son míos y esos son suyos. Her story is more interesting than his. Su historia es más interesante que la suya. The problem is not mine, it's theirs. El problema no es mío, es de ellos. Their trees are taller than ours. Sus árboles son más altos que los nuestros. The plates on the table are his, but where are mine? Los platos en la mesa son suyos, pero ¿dónde están los míos? Do you want his design or ours? ¿Quieres su diseño o el nuestro? Her shoes are cleaner than yours. Sus zapatos están más limpios que los tuyos. My family is smaller than yours. Mi familia es más pequeña que la tuya. They liked my work, but they didn't like his. Les gustó mi trabajo, pero no les gustó el suyo. Something else to be aware of is when it comes to phrases that take de. For example, encima de, on top of. En lugar de, instead of. Cerca de, near to. And of course there are many others in Spanish. If you get this combination of de plus el mío, meaning for mine, so this is where you would be referring to some kind of masculine noun, then the two will contract and you'll get del mío. So mine could be del mío, de la mía, de los míos, de las mías. And this will remain consistent no matter what angle you're using. Yours, his, hers, etc. For example, let's use cerca de, so near to. And we could have a phrase like, his parking space is near to mine. Now the word for parking space is estacionamiento. This is a masculine noun. So to express this, it would be su estacionamiento está cerca del mío. Because we have cerca de and el mío for mine, because we are referring to masculine noun, this all contracts. So está cerca del mío is near to mine. How would you say this one? His office is near to mine. Su oficina está cerca de la mía. His books are near to mine. Sus libros están cerca de los míos. His pens are near to mine. Sus plumas están cerca de las mías. So as you can see, it's only really with the masculine noun that you get the contraction to del. For the rest, cerca de, or any other phrase like this, will keep the de, and after that you just use las mías, los míos, la mía, or so forth. Let's try it with another example. Here we have en lugar de, so instead of. How would you say, he wants yours instead of mine? Quiere el tuyo en lugar del mío. Hopefully you remember to contract this from de el mío to del mío. What about this? Let's use encima de, so on top of. Her books are on top of mine. Sus libros están encima de los míos. So as you can see, whenever we have a preposition like de, encima de, cerca de, en lugar de, those combinations will remain as they are. You'll keep the de and add on the possessive pronoun. The only time you need to be extra careful is when it comes to a masculine noun. This is where you will get the del and then whatever it is afterwards. Because also, as we've seen previously, some verbs are married to pronouns. So disfrutar de, to enjoy. Now, the same thing will apply here. For example, he enjoyed his birthday. The word for birthday actually looks plural, cumpleaños. So we would have disfrutó de su cumpleaños. He enjoyed his birthday. Of course, here we don't have any possessive pronoun. It's just a simple phrase. He enjoyed his birthday. Disfrutó de su cumpleaños. But you can see how the verb is married to this pronoun. Now, if we get something a little more complex, for example, he enjoyed his birthday, but I didn't enjoy mine. Here we have now the possessive pronoun. And cumpleaños is classified as a singular masculine noun in Spanish. So the whole thing together would become él disfrutó de su cumpleaños. So he, notice that I'm emphasizing here, él disfrutó de su cumpleaños. He enjoyed his birthday, but I didn't enjoy mine. Here's the important bit here. Pero yo no disfruté del mío. Once again, you can see that the verb is married to the pronoun disfrutar de. And we have didn't enjoy mine gets contracted to del mío because we are referring to el cumpleaños. I'm sure you can see that at times this can get quite tricky, especially in the flow of conversation. You're going to find yourself sometimes being tripped up or having to pause to think back to what type of noun you're referring to. But this does get easier, it does get faster. It's all just a matter of practice. We'll finish with our second drill now. We're going to combine everything that we've learned in this lesson so far. Remember, always look for the noun and notice if it's masculine, feminine, singular, or plural, because that will always dictate the correct possessive pronoun to use. Let's start with a question. Is this pen yours? ¿Esta pluma es tuya? Which dog did this, yours or mine? ¿Cuál perro hizo esto, el tuyo o el mío? Mine is cheaper than theirs. El mío es más barato que el suyo. If you don't have sunblock, I can loan you mine. Si no tienes bloqueador, puedo prestarte el mío. His room is smaller than theirs. Su habitación es más pequeña que la suya. I was thinking that the money on the table was mine. Estaba pensando que el dinero que está en la mesa era mío. I like your blouse more than hers. Me gusta tu blusa más que la suya. Ours is faster. El nuestro es más rápido. Your house is near to mine. Tu casa está cerca de la mía. Your house is big like mine. Tu casa es grande como la mía. Her office is above theirs. Su oficina está encima de la suya. Her school is near to ours. Su escuela está cerca de la nuestra. My car is over there. Where is yours? Mi coche está por allí. ¿Dónde está el tuyo? I prefer my designs, but she prefers hers. Yo prefiero mis diseños, pero ella prefiere los suyos. They believe their ideas are better than mine. Creen que sus ideas son mejores que las mías. Yours is bigger. El tuyo es más grande. We can use their keys instead of mine. Podemos usar sus llaves en lugar de las mías. Those coins, are they ours? Esas monedas, son nuestras. They liked their room, but I didn't like mine. Les gustó su cuarto, pero no me gustó el mío. They enjoyed their meal, but I didn't enjoy mine. Disfrutaron de su comida, pero no disfruté de la mía. Her books are on top of mine. Sus libros están encima de los míos. Your friends and mine can go together. Tus amigos y los míos pueden ir juntos. I don't like long nails. Mine are short. No me gustan las uñas largas. Las mías están cortas. It's not my phone, it's hers. No es mi teléfono, es suyo. It's not my phone, it's hers. Be explicit here. No es mi teléfono, es de ella. Yes, I know, but where is my bag? Yours is here. Sí, lo sé, pero ¿dónde está mi bolsa? La tuya está aquí. Those shirts are mine. Esas camisas son mías. This part is mine and that part is yours. Esta parte es mía y esa parte es tuya. His dreams are small, theirs are big. Sus sueños son pequeños, los suyos son grandes. Mine is white as well. La mía es blanca también. My son is 5. How old is yours? Mi hijo tiene 5 años. ¿Cuántos años tiene el tuyo? Their prices are more expensive than yours. Sus precios son más caros que los tuyos. I saw a necklace online, the same as yours. Vi un collar en línea, igual que el tuyo. Their accents are stronger than ours. Sus acentos son más fuertes que los nuestros. His experience there was good, but I didn't enjoy mine. Su experiencia allí fue buena, pero no disfruté de la mía.